Hey, peace fam, Jay Morrison. Many of you are in the comments asking the question, what is the difference between a cash out refi and a HELOC, home equity line of credit? Biggest difference in your cash out refi versus your HELOC is going to be a refinance is literally a restart of your loan, of your mortgage. So that means you are starting with a whole new 30 or 40 or 10 year or 20 year mortgage, whatever your mortgage term is, you're starting from scratch from year one. On a HELOC, you get access to, so both these instruments, these financial instruments give you access to the equity in your home, right? Equity being the difference between what you owe on a property and what it's worth. But a HELOC, you literally can get access to that equity without starting your loan over. You literally get like a second loan on top of your first loan. And that's one big difference, right? Is refi, you start your loan over, HELOC, you add on a new loan on top of your existing loan. Second big difference is with a cash out refi versus HELOC is on a refi, you get all your cash tax free, but you start paying interest on that cash from month one, right? You start paying back. On a HELOC, you only pay on what you use. So if you were to borrow or get 80,000 cash out of a refi, you start paying on that 80 plus the whole loan from month one. If you got 80 grand home equity line of credit, you pay $0 until you tap into that 80,000. So if you tap into that 80,000, 20 grand, you're only paying interest on 20 grand. If you tap into a 50 grand, you're paying interest on 50 grand. If you pay back that 20 and 50 grand, you're now back to paying 0 on it, and you still got access to the 80. On a refinance, you gotta pay that 80 over and over and over again, so you gotta get that money moving into work. So you don't wanna cash out refi without a plan, because you're just paying on dead money, dormant money, right? With a HELOC, your capital your access to capital or equity can stay dormant, it can stay asleep or dead, as I call it, and you use it when you want and you pay it when you want, right? Otherwise, fees are probably about the same. Interest rates can be a little bit higher on your HELOC because it is a second mortgage in most cases, meaning your original mortgage takes first position. So if you were to foreclose, your original mortgage will get all their money first, and that HELOC lender, they gotta wait till the other person gets made whole, and then the HELOC lender will get their payments. So that means it's a greater risk to the bank to do what's called a second mortgage or home equity line of credit when there's a first mortgage in position. Now, if you own your property free and clear, there's no mortgage debt on your property, and you wanna do a home equity line of credit, you would get better rates because there's less risk to the bank because there's not a mortgage in first position to their second position. When you refinance, there's just one position in one whole new loan, right? And you'll get prevailing interest rates based on your loan product, right? So you gotta understand how banks work a little bit and how banks mitigate their risk. And banks like to be in position that when they loan you money, and private lenders, such as myself, when we loan you money, we wanna be in position to be able to get paid back first. If we can't get paid back first, we gotta charge you more points and more interest to make up for the level of risk that we're taking on to loan you capital in second position, right? So those are two of the critical differences in your refinance and your HELOC. The interest on both loans is tax deductible, just so you know. The capital you receive on both loan instruments is all tax-free capital. That's another thing that's a benefit. You may have to pay some kind of origination points, right, to your loan originator or your banks for doing the loan, application fees, all that, appraisals, etc. But the biggest differences are the time. It's the time piece, it's the level of interest rate, and it is the level of how you use the money and how you have access to that capital. A lot of times, a refinance is a little more easier, banks prefer it, and you might have to fight a little bit to get a HELOC, right? You might have to try to move around and find different lenders for a HELOC, but they do exist on both residential and commercial properties. My last point, this is a big one. I didn't learn this till like a couple years in, it kind of clicked for me early on in my real estate career. If you have a home that say you owe $100,000, right, to a bank, but the home is worth $200,000. So there you have $200,000 in equity. You feel me? Excuse me, $100,000 in equity. Because remember, equity is the difference between what you owe on a property and what it's worth. So you owe $100,000, it's worth $200,000. You have $100,000 in equity. when you refinance or get a HELOC, they are not giving you, in most cases, most bank lending programs, products they call it, they're not giving you 100% of your equity. And when the bank says, we'll give you 80% LTV or 80% loan to value, it doesn't mean they're giving you 80% of your equity. Let me explain this. I'm gonna slow this down because I'm telling you, it's a lesson I learned after doing many mortgages, closing many deals, but it still took a while for it to click, and I'm a pretty smart guy, especially in math. Check this out. When a bank's gonna give you an 80% loan to value and your home is worth $200,000, they're gonna give you 80% of $200,000. So what's that, right? 0.8 times 200, 160, $160,000. So although you have $100,000 in equity, right? You feel me, right? We owe 100, is worth 200, you have 100 in equity. A bank's gonna give you 80% of a loan based on the value of the home. So we're gonna give you 80% of the 200. That's 160. So you have a loan though for 100. Remember, you owe 100. So the bank's gonna give you a new loan, right? A whole new loan in a refinance, or they're gonna give you a home equity line of credit equivalent to 80% of your value. So if the bank gives you 160, that means if it's a HELOC, they're only giving you 60 grand of your 100,000 in equity. Because remember, we said 160, but you owed 100. So if the bank gives you 80% loan to value, you're getting a 160 loan. So take away the 100 that you owe, that's 60 that you'll have credit of a home equity line of credit, HELOC, H-E-L-O-C, right? Or if you get a whole new loan in a refinance, you get a brand new mortgage refinance or a restart of your mortgage for $160,000 starting in year one. You pay off the old loan you owed 100 in, and that 60,000 that's left is your cash out refi money. Feel me? So although you have 100 in equity, you would only walk away with 60 grand on an 80% loan to value refinance or HELOC. Therefore, still keeping 40,000 of equity in your asset and in your property. That helps you because you have future equity for when you sell one day or for more appreciation, but it helps the bank or the private lender because we know there's still $40,000 cushion in there in case you foreclose and we got to come snatch the property back. We can sell that property on the market through a fire sale and still can discount the price, pay realtors, pay taxes, pay insurance, right? And all the things that come with a foreclosure. And there's still a $40,000 margin for us to still make good on our loan and the capital that we loaned out to the market or to you as a borrower. You feel me? So that's some quick layman term game for you on the difference between a HELOC and a refi, but also what it means when you get your LTV, your loan to value from the bank. And don't think that just because you got 100,000 equity in your home, that 100,000 is gonna be due to you in full once you go to the bank to borrow your equity, right? It's gonna be a portion of your equity based on the value. So hope y'all found value in that. I want you guys to go to roadmapprogram.com. That's our real estate roadmap. If you want more game on how to actually understand the real estate business, maneuver in it, grow in it, begin in it. If you're already in it, scale in it, right? And we have everything from a general membership to a private mastermind community to one-on-one coaching, right? For those who want to get into private lending themselves, who want to become a private lender, a syndicator, developer, fund manager. We got you on all levels of your real estate journey through the real estate roadmap. All right, guys, I'll see you there. Resources linked below in the description for your links to more resources on how you guys become real estate experts in your own right and build wealth for the world's oldest industry, and that is real estate investment. Peace.